Hey, what's up, folks? Blitzball Champ is back with a brand new video here on the U to the 2. We're back at it again for another pro wrestling talk video. This is mainly going to be focusing on New Japan Pro Wrestling. Gonna focus on WWE, and of course we're gonna focus on AEW as well. Y'all can ignore the chiming clock in the background. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. For those that haven't checked out my video on Stardom's All-Star Dream Cinderella, definitely check that out. I did a separate video just for that, so definitely check that out. I'm not able to check out the February 28th show. They don't have it all uploaded yet on Stardom World, so I mean, don't know if I'll end up covering much from that, since that was back in February and we've already gotten past the All-Star Dream Cinderella show. So if anything, it'll be just watching it for the sake of watching it. But yeah, I pretty much did my main Stardom coverage in that previous video, so definitely check that out if you hadn't checked that out, because that was the biggest show that pretty much happened this week from Stardom. But anyway, moving on to New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, got the New Japan Cup that just recently started, and I just wanted to take a moment to go through the 30-man bracket for the New Japan Cup. And this is supposed to, this actually started, 2 of the matches started at the anniversary show, which I'll go into in a second. So, and this tournament will go on with the finals being on March 21st in Sendai. So this will be a single elimination tournament that lasts from, it started yesterday, March 4th, and it will go all the way to March 21st. So, and then the winner of the New Japan Cup will challenge Kota Ibushi for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at the Sakura Genesis show on April 4th at the Ryogoku Sumo Hall. So, winner of the New Japan Cup gets the title shot at Sakura Genesis. So, let's go over the bracket and go over the matchups. So, we got both Evil and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Both of those competitors are in the second round. They have a first round bye. So they'll be competing in the second round. That's Evil and Hiroshi Tanahashi. But so just keep that in mind. But starting with the left side of the bracket, we got Evil, Satoshi Kojima versus Jeff Cobb. Got Tetsuya Naito versus the Great Okarn. We got Toru Yano versus Bad Luck Fale. We got Hiroki Goto versus Taichi. We got Kazuchika Okada versus Shingo Takagi. We got Tomoaki Honma versus Minoru Suzuki. We got Juice Robinson versus Kenta. This is the left side of the bracket. So Satoshi Kojima versus Jeff Cobb took place at the anniversary show, as well as Tetsuya Naito versus the Great Okarn, which I'll go over in a little bit. Interesting matchups. Toru Yano versus Bad Luck Fale, that ought to be really interesting. Hiroki Goto versus Taichi, that is a matchup that I think a lot of us are familiar with. Kazuchika Okada versus Shingo Takagi, that's actually a matchup I'm looking very much forward to. Tomoaki Honma versus Minoru Suzuki, I mean, that's kind of a weird one. And Juice Robinson versus Kenta, that actually should be, I think that has an opportunity to be better than expectations. So we'll see. But that's the left side of the bracket. The right side of the bracket, we got Hiroshi Tenzan versus Will Ospreay, Gabriel Kidd versus Zack Sabre Jr., Yuji Nagata versus Yota Tsuji, Tomohiro Ishii versus Sanada, David Finlay versus Chase Owens, Yoshihashi versus Yujiro Takahashi, Toa Henare versus Jay White, and then we got Hiroshi Tanahashi, who has a first round bye. Okay. Hiroshi Tenzan versus Will Ospreay, I mean, that's not a surprising matchup, to be honest with you. I think we kind of know how that's going to go. Same thing with Gabriel Kidd versus Zack Sabre Jr. I mean, that's an easy one. Same thing with Yuji Nagata versus Yota Tsuji. I mean, same thing. Tomohiro Ishii versus Sanada should be interesting, but I don't see Sanada losing that. But you never know. You never know. Dave Finlay versus Chase Owens, that actually should be good. That could go either way. That could actually go either way. Yoshihashi versus Yujiro Takahashi, that's another one that could go either way. And then Toa Henare versus Jay White, I mean, you know, Jay White's definitely going over. But yeah, that's the bracket for this year's New Japan Cup. Very, very interesting bracket. Very interesting bracket. But yeah, both Evil and Hiroshi Tanahashi have first round buys. So keep that in mind. But anyway, let's transition into the anniversary event. So I believe this was the 49th anniversary. Took place at the Nippon Budokan, so pretty much the same venue where Stardom had their All-Star Dream Cinderella show at. But yeah, so it started off with an 8-man tag team match that put Master Wato, Gabriel Kidd, Tomoaki Honma, and Hiroki Goto versus Doki, Zack Sabre Jr., Minoru Suzuki, and Taichi of Suzuki-gun. I was really shocked that everybody came out to Taichi's theme and not Minoru Suzuki's theme. You know, him being the leader of Suzuki-gun. So, thought that was kind of weird. Thought that was really weird. Ultimately, Goto hit the GTR on Doki to pick up the victory for his team. Actually did not expect for that team to win, so thought that was really interesting. But yeah, about a 10-minute-ish match. So, not crazy long, but, I mean, it was the first match, and it was only a 20-minute time limit, so, I mean, what did you expect? The next match was even shorter. This was a 10-man tag team match. We had the team of Ryusuke Taguchi, Toa Henare, Dave Finlay, Juice Robinson, and Hiroshi Tanahashi going up against Bullet Club's Bone Soldier Taiji Ishimori, Switchblade Jay White, Chase Owens, Kenta, and Evil. So at first it looked like Jay White was trying to get Ryusuke Taguchi to do the too sweet with the Bullet Club, which he ended up doing like a double fist bump with his team. And oh man, this was kind of a wacky match. But I felt bad for Ryusuke Taguchi, how he just literally fell right into the hands of an everything is evil like that. It wasn't even a long match. It was like maybe 6 or 7 minutes. And just, I mean, it was like you barely got to see everybody showcased. And just, you know, Ryusuke Taguchi just wrong place at the wrong time and ate everything is evil for the Bullet Club victory. Yeah. It was actually kind of funny. Um, Third match, another six-man tag. Um, this was Sho, Tomohiro Ishii, and Kazuchika Okada versus Lij's Bushi, Sanada, and Shingo Takagi. Um, I I really don't like how Bushi 9 times out of 10 will take the pin in Lij losses, especially tag teams that where he's involved. I can't stand that because Bushi's my favorite guy of Lij. He has the coolest mask, and I don't know. I've always been kind of a big Bushi fan, but Sho got the victory for Chaos, hitting the shock arrow on Bushi. But we had a face off at the end between Sanada and Tomohiro Ishii, and they kind of exchanged some chops. So I thought that was pretty intense. But I mean, hey, they meet each other for the first round of the New Japan Cup, so they really do a lot of this to build up the one-on-one matchups for New Japan Cup or any sort of big tournament or show where there will be face-offs or matchups like that. So this was no surprise. But yep, Show's been looking really good every time I see him, and I still feel like at some point it would be cool to see him with a singles title. I think Show is definitely been established to that point, and I hope he gets a singles title run at some point, like IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion at some point. Okay, we had first of two New Japan Cup matches where we had Satoshi Kojima versus Jeff Cobb. Um, this was a pretty good match. I mean, it was very much back and forth, and Satoshi Kojima reversed and got out of the tour of the islands at least twice. So I mean, he was on his A game, but fortunately, was trying to go for that lariat and ate a tour of the islands at the last moment, and Jeff Cobb got the victory to advance. They both traded machine gun chops. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't expect Jeff Cobb to get in some machine gun chops, so I thought that was pretty cool. But this was a hard hitting match, very very much back and forth, and for that being the first New Japan Cup match, that was a pretty good way to start. That was a pretty good way to start. But Jeff Cobb eliminates Satoshi Kojima, which Kojima-san hasn't had a lot of luck. I think they had said that this was his eighth New Japan Cup, and that he's only made it advanced to the next round twice. So, not a good track record. But yeah, Jeff Cobb with the victory. And then the real surprise was the second match, New Japan Cup Round One, Tetsuya Naito versus the Great O-Khan, and wow, this shocked the mess out of me. But overall, was an excellent match, and Great O'Karn had Naito in a very interesting leg submission. It was almost kind of like a TJP like knee bar. That's what it kind of reminded me of. But this was a back and forth match, and really showcased the Great O'Karn really really well. I mean, Naito, doesn't disappoint in his matches, but due to referee stoppage, like he didn't tap, he didn't pass out, but due to referee stoppage, the Great O'Karn advanced to the second round with a big upset victory over Tetsuya Naito. So, yeah, the Great O'Karn might be the sleeper of this tournament, or at least on that side of the bracket. So, wowzers. Definitely keep an eye out for the Great O'Karn. And looking at the bracket, so that means Jeff Cobb will advance and face Evil. So yeah, he faces Evil in the second round. So Jeff Cobb versus Evil, and then the Great O'Karn will face the winner of Toru Yano versus Bad Luck Fale. So that'll be an interesting matchup. But I feel like the Great O'Karn's definitely capable of defeating Toru Yano and Bad Luck Fale. But we'll see. We'll definitely see. But yeah, I gotta give kudos to the Great O'Karn coming into this event strong. In a big victory like that over Naito, keep an eye out on him. And that was at least a 20-minute match. So keep an eye on him. And then we had the main event of this anniversary show where Kota Ibushi defended the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental titles against the newly crowned IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion El Desperado. This was a good match, and I was really happy to see El Desperado's really being showcased well as a singles competitor. And, even though he didn't get the victory, he definitely brought his A game in this match. I also like the black and gold threads that he's supporting. Definitely really cool. But gotta give it up to El Desperado. He really brought it in this match. I mean, taking all those strikes. And, Kota Ibushi, always delivers some of the best strikes in the business. But ultimately, Eita Kamigoye, and that was pretty much it. But yeah, great showing from El Desperado. Probably not the typical main event folks would hope for a show, Kota Ibushi, El Desperado. But hey, El Desperado, I think he's due for a pretty decent run as IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. So we'll see how that goes. But, this was a pretty decent event, loaded with tag team matches. And like I said, started the New Japan Cup matches. And then, of course, we had the double title match. And it's also been said that it looks like they are going to unify the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships for one title, which, Kota Ibushi will be deemed the first new champion from this unification. So yeah, take your one last look at the IWGP Intercontinental title and say bye-bye to that. Besides, I like the white belt. The white belt's nice. I like that belt. But yeah, that's what they're gonna do. But I'll do my best to cover as much for next week's Pro Wrestling Talk for the New Japan Cup and kind of give an update on the bracket by then. I know the first official day has started, so I got to get caught up on that. But yeah. Like I said, this is going to be going all the way up to March 21st, so there'll be a lot of New Japan Pro Wrestling to watch. So, it's going to be an endurance race. But that's all for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let's get into AEW. So, they started out with the mixed tag team match, Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet taking on Shaq and Jade Cargill. I mean, I really didn't have much expectations for this match. Because, I mean, Shaq, I mean, come on, Shaq. And I already don't like Jade Cargill. She looks like a younger but more beefier version of Raka Khan. And, well, at least a little bit cuter than Raka Khan. But that's what she reminds me of. I'm not really on the Jade Cargill hype train. She doesn't do it for me. She doesn't do it for me. So, I don't know. That's just my opinion. But she doesn't do it for me. But, yeah. This match was interesting. But I mean, Shaq did some stuff. I mean, he was pretty much the biggest man in the ring. You know, was really kind of Jade and Shaq were kind of punking Cody and Red Velvet for a while in this match, and it's just crazy. It was just really crazy. Cody did body slam Shaq, and he also put him through a table, which I did not expect to happen. I did not expect to see Shaq to go through a table, and he was knocked out. And I was just like, wow, this is actually entertaining. This turned out to be a little more entertaining than I thought. You know, Shaq went through a table and then was rushed out on an ambulance. But ultimately, Jade Cargill did get the victory, taking out Red Velvet and got the pin, the 1-2-3. So, Jade Cargill's first match in AEW tag team match with Shaq ended up being a victory. But it was a little more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. So I will give it credit in that. Of course, what really surprised me was, okay, so we had that press conference from Jericho and MJF, which we know those two are getting the tag title shot against the Young Bucks. And, of course, Young Bucks got their revenge for, of course, what they did to their father. And, ended up putting them through tables, through Santana and Ortiz, to be specific. And the Good Brothers, even the Good Brothers came out and helped the Young Bucks put Proud and Powerful Santana and Ortiz through tables, which was incredible. Saw a similar sort of thing happen back when I was at the Charlotte show of AEW, seeing the Young Bucks fly off the stage pillar and off the lower level stage through a table. And really, really good spots, but I gotta give credit. I was really digging the fact that the Good Brothers came out and set up tables to assist with that. You know, before there had been some tension between, you know, Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers and the Young Bucks, but hey, I mean, Bullet Club lives on. And sometimes they can just come together and get a deed done, and that's what they did. So, yeah, that was cool. That was really cool. Really good segment. We got to see J.J. Dillon accompany Tully Blanchard and FTR. I thought that was like, what the heck is old man J.J. Dillon doing out here? But it was pretty cool that there was a segment at the end where Sean Spears appeared, was one of the camera guys, and came out with Tully and FTR, and we even got to see the Horseman salute, and even saw Arn Anderson throw it up. He threw it up. J.J. Dillon, Tully Blanchard. I was like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So, ultimately, FTR did get the victory. got Luchasaurus with a spiked pile driver, assisted by Tully Blanchard. But but yeah, we hadn't seen Shawn Spears in quite a bit, so it was good to have him back. And you got quite a crew there, and FTR, Tully Blanchard, and Shawn Spears. They could do something with that group. They could definitely do something with that group. So definitely keep an eye out. Um, so one of the things that happened, big things that happened, was uh, AEW's newest signing, Paul White, came out, uh, talked a little bit about AEW Elevation. Um, it's going to be debuting Monday on March 15th on YouTube. And of course, he'll be commentating with Tony Schiavone. So that's exciting. You know, new AEW show. So something to look forward to. And he's going to make an announcement at AEW Revolution where he's going to announce a hire, a signee to a new contract that is Hall of Fame worthy. A lot of people have been kind of speculating on who this could be. Some folks were thinking Christian. Some folks were thinking Kurt Angle. Some folks were even thinking CM Punk. I have no idea who this could be. I really don't. Even one person, one or a couple of people even mentioned Okada or Jay White, even, which I highly doubt that. I highly doubt it. But CM Punk would really shock the mess out of me. But I think it's a long shot. I'm gonna keep an open mind as best as I can because I don't know who it's gonna be. It could be anybody. Even one person said jokingly Hulk Hogan, but I highly doubt that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep an open mind, but Hall of Fame worthy, and says it's not who you think. And my thing is, like, do we know for sure it's, a guy? Could it also be a woman? I mean, I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah. So we just gotta wait and see AEW Revolution. But definitely got a lot on my mind. And then we have the finals of the Women's World Title Eliminator Tournament. Nyla Rose versus Ryo Mizunami. And I gotta be honest with you. The turnout, I was kind of surprised. But ultimately, Ryo Mizunami got the victory over Nyla Rose. That shocked me. Because I really, for the whole time, had a bad feeling we were going to get Shida Rose 3. And I would have hated to see that. Really would have hated to see that. Because we've seen that so many times. At least twice. And Shida has won all 3 times. So, I'm glad that didn't happen. I'm glad that didn't happen. This was quite a match. Both these ladies brought it, and just really, it was crazy. It was really crazy, but I was really shocked to see Ryo Mizunami hit that exploder suplex after getting out of that beast bomb, and then hit quite a nasty guillotine leg drop on Nyla Rose, which I did not think would have been enough to get the 1-2-3, but it did. And Ryo Mizunami is your winner of this tournament and gets the title shot against Shida at AEW Revolution. So we got ourselves a Joshi Pro Wrestling Championship match for the AEW Women's title at AEW Revolution. So I like this outcome. I would have originally wanted Yuka Sakazaki versus Shida, but I'll settle for this. And Shida was there. She was there on at the announce table watching. Presented Ryo Mizunami with the trophy. They shook hands and they traded blows until Shida knocked down Ryo Mizunami. But it sounded like they were challenging / respectful blows to each other. But yeah. So I mean, honestly, I know ultimately a lot of folks were disappointed that Maki Ito didn't advance. And, I know a lot of people, like myself, really wanted Britt Baker to win this tournament. But, I mean, thankfully, I'm just glad Nyla Rose didn't win. Because I did not want to see Shida Rose 3. I did not want to see that. Period. So, that was my whole thing with that. But anyway, also got a Face of the Revolution ladder match I wanted to talk about as well. So this was the qualifier, which the actual match will take place at AEW Revolution, where the winner will get a shot at Darby Allin's TNT Championship. So you had Platinum Max Caster of the Acclaim defeat Dark Order's 10. And, of course, he had a little help with Jack Evans from TH2. But I like this. Definitely they've really been pushing the Acclaim, to get victories. They've been doing promos, Matt Caster spitting some bars. So I like the Acclaim. They're a good heel team. I really like them. So, good to see they're keeping that up. Your main event was Hangman Page and John Silver of the Dark Order versus Matt Hardy and Mark Quinn. Which, I mean, Page got the win for his team, but of course got double teamed, and Dark Order came out for the rescue, and I mean, they're still having that relationship with Dark Order and Adam Page. They have his back. Despite him not joining the Dark Order, they still have his back. So it really makes me wonder how this match is going to turn out. This money match is going to turn out at Revolution. But should be interesting. But let's take a moment. Let me pull up the card for AEW Revolution, and then we'll take a look at this card. So we got 9 matches. 9 matches total so far. So let's break down these matches. So I believe we have one match that's the buy-in, which is a tag team match. So the buy-in, we got Riho and Thunder Rosa taking on Britt Baker and Rebel. I mean, this is another opportunity for Thunder Rosa to get her hands on Britt Baker. And Britt Baker got the best of Thunder Rosa in the singles match they had before. So I think Riho and Thunder Rosa will pick up the victory for this match. But yeah, good to see Riho back on AEW pay per view. So that's cool. Um, even though it's the buy-in, still, I mean, it's still cool to see her back in AEW and involved. Um, so we also have a casino tag team battle royal where the winning team will get a future tag team title shot. And the teams that we got in there so far are we got Bear Country, the Dark Orders, Alex Reynolds and John Silver, Stu Grayson and Evil Uno are, so two separate tag teams there. The Inner Circle is Santana and Ortiz, Butcher and the Blade, Private Party, Top Flight, looking forward to Top Flight, Death Triangle made up of Pac and Ray Phoenix. The Varsity Blondes are in this. The Seidel brothers are in this, Matt and Mike Seidel. SCU is in this. Natural Nightmares are in this, Dustin Rhodes and QT Marshall. Chaos Project's in this. Gun Club of Austin and Colton Gunn are in here. And apparently the Dark Order's Alan Angels and Preston Vance. So wow, they got 3 tag teams in this. The Pretty Picture, which is Cesar Bononi and Pretty Peter Avalon. Jurassic Express of Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. That's who they have announced so far. I assume there's probably going to be 1 or 2 more teams. But pretty loaded. Pretty loaded. So it makes me wonder, since Kaz and Daniels are in this match, if they lose this match, do they technically split? Because remember, they said the next match that they would lose as a tag team, they would split. So does this count? I mean, I don't know if this is a regular tag team match or just in general, but I mean, this is a tag team battle royal. So, I mean, technically, does this count? I'm just wondering. But something to keep in mind. But I mean, if that's really the case, if they're really enforcing that, then I would like to think that SCU is probably going to walk away with the victory in this. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm big on Top Flight. I don't see Top Flight winning, but I'm glad they're in this match. But I mean, that's something to think about. Something to think about. But anyways, we got tag team match, Miro and Kip Sabian going up against best friends, Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. I mean, probably go with Cassidy and Taylor for the win. Miro's kind of had the upper hand lately. That's what I'm gonna go with. Let's see. Of course, we got the big money match: Hangman Adam Page versus Matt Hardy. So the winner of this match receives the loser's first quarter earnings of 2021. I mean, I don't know who's gonna win this. Honestly, this could kind of go either way, but I'm thinking probably Hangman Page will win. But I really feel like after this, they really need to start pushing Hangman Adam Page into some sort of singles title contention or something. TNT title, AEW title, like, they need to really start enforcing that for Hangman Adam Page. That dude is too good. But yeah, they need to do something with that. Um let's see. We got the Face of the Revolution ladder match, which so far we got Cody Rhodes versus Scorpio Sky versus Penta El Zero Mero versus Murder Hawk Monster Lance Archer um, versus Max Caster. And I think they're still waiting on another for this. I think another person to qualify or something like that. Or another person to announce. But yeah, this is a ladder match. Winner gets a future TNT Championship match against the current title holder in Darby Allin. Scorpio Sky has been kind of showing attitude wise a little bit of maybe some heelish ways. So it would not surprise me if Scorpio Sky won this match. I mean, we haven't really seen much of Scorpio Sky in the ring in a while. So I'm thinking maybe Scorpio Sky walks away with this and gets the title shot against Darby Allin. I mean, that's another one we got to keep an eye on for future singles run. So something to think about. Something to think about. And I know we got Team Taz, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks versus Darby Allin and Sting, the street fight. I expect this to be intense, and I expect there to be interference from Will Hobbs and Taz's son. So I think this will be intense. Will it be a long match? I don't know. I mean, with Sting in this, Sting actually doing the street fight, I don't think it'll be too long of a match. But, I mean, hey, I could be wrong. Depends on how long he can go. But, I mean, I don't know. Do Darby and Sting really need the Well, I don't think they really need the victory. But, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to call that one. But should be good. It's a street fight, so should be good. We know we got Hikaru Shida defending the AEW Women's Championship against Ryo Mizunami. I don't believe Ryo Mizunami is going to be signed to AEW. Therefore, I don't see her winning this match. I think Shida retains. But I am hoping with the aftermath of this that some folks get signed. I would have loved to have seen Maki Ito get signed. But a lot of these other Joshi wrestlers are, in other promotions. So I mean, they only could do but so much with that. I hope this will be a good long match back and forth, but I think Shida does retain. We got, of course, the Young Bucks defending the tag titles against Chris Jericho and MJF. I don't know. From what's been going on and happening, ugh, it makes me wonder if either two things are going to happen. One, Jericho and MJF do win the tag titles. Or two, maybe Sammy Guevara appears and costs them the match. And the Young Bucks retain. I mean, we haven't seen Sammy Guevara for a while. This might be the time he comes back and makes an impact here on Revolution. So, something to think about. Let's see. And then the main event, which I assume is the main event, the AEW World Championship, as Kenny Omega defends the title against Jon Moxley in an exploding barbed wire death match. We're going to get a chance to see. First time ever on AEW. At AEW Revolution. Ooh, this is going to be crazy. This is going to be really, really crazy. But I do feel at the end, Kenny Omega will retain. I do feel he will retain. But this should really be a match that lasts for the long haul. So we'll see what happens, but it should be good. Should be really good. Definitely has me excited. This is a good card. Overall, a good card for our AEW Revolution. So should be good. But that'll do it for AEW Revolution. All right, on to some WWE. I mean, let's start by saying this. Not gonna really say too much about Raw because I mean, nothing was really intriguing that went on in Raw. I mean, Charlotte announced that she, wants to challenge for the red belt, the Raw Women's Championship at WrestleMania. Why am I not surprised? Which I'm pretty sure they're gonna have Charlotte win and beat Asuka again. Not to mention, I saw a report that originally, if it wasn't for Lacey Evans being pregnant, they actually were having her booked to defeat Asuka at Elimination Chamber. Yeah. Because apparently the angle was going to be that Charlotte would win the title at WrestleMania from Lacey Evans. Yeah. And now, I don't even know what's going to happen with Fastlane because as of right now, Asuka's missing some teeth from the kick by Shayna Baszler, and supposedly she has a concussion. So, not sure when Asuka will be cleared to come back. I mean, I don't think she's posted much on Twitter in a while, and I haven't seen her on Kanachan TV or YouTube upload a new video in a while. So I hope Asuka's okay, but I think it's safe to say, y'all, get ready for Asuka to lose her title. It's about to happen. It's bound to happen. And it looks like it's going to happen at WrestleMania. I don't know if they'll have her in a match at Fastlane, but yeah. So, not thrilled about that, but I'm not surprised either. So the Miz, oh my goodness. So the Miz tried his best. Tried his best to get out of the championship match, WWE title match against Bobby Lashley, which tried his best to get Bobby Lashley to wait till WrestleMania. That didn't happen. The dude faked that he had stomach cramps. Lashley wasn't buying that. And this dude ran away with the title, lost by countout, ran out of there like a track star. You would have thought that The Miz ran track with how fast he ran out of there with that belt. But it eventually took a lumberjack match for the title for Lashley to actually get his hands on The Miz and actually pretty much squash The Miz and win the championship. Made him tap out to the Hurt Lock. Put it on him again after winning the title to add extra insult to injury. And Bobby Lashley is your new WWE champion. Now, I'm going to say this. Two things. One, congratulations to Bobby Lashley. Definitely happy for him. Been a long time coming. And who knows? He got a lot of feedback from others, like on Twitter, like from Mark Henry and The Rock. You know, a lot of feedback. So that was really cool. I think this was the third black man to win the WWE Championship. So that was cool. This was really good. So congratulations to Bobby Lashley. And, you know, it took him, what, 16, 17 years to do this? So, yeah. So it's a big deal. Definitely a big deal. And who knows? Maybe we'll finally get to see Brock Lesnar versus Lashley, or maybe it's looking like it's going to be Drew McIntyre versus Lashley. But seeing him at WrestleMania, I think, will be a big deal. I think will be great. So good for Bobby Lashley. And the second thing is this. Because of stuff like this and champions like The Miz and everything that built up to this is the sole reason why Money in the Bank needs to die. The Money in the Bank match, pay-per-view, whatever, needs to die. Twice it took the Money in the Bank for The Miz to even get the title in the first place. Both times. Let's be honest. The Miz is a great heel. Does great heel work. But has got to be one of the worst WWE champions. Like, and I think a big part of it, I don't blame him, but much so Money in the Bank. And just a lot of lately, the past few years of how Money in the Bank has been. I mean, even outside of the rules behind Money in the Bank, it's the most cheesiest way for somebody to win a title. It's cheesy. Like, come on. You had the first ever women's Money in the Bank match, and they had to do a do-over because even though Carmella supposedly won, it was James Ellsworth that climbed the ladder and got the briefcase and threw it down to her. So they had to have a whole do-over. Oh my goodness. You have, of all people to win the Money in the Bank match, you have Otis win the Money in the Bank match at WWE headquarters, which you know dang on well there was nobody that they were going to have Otis cash in and defeat for that title and actually be legit. There was no way. Because I believe at the time, Braun Strowman was champ, and I think later The Fiend, and yeah. But any of those guys, Goldberg, The Fiend, Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, you know dang on well they won't gonna have Otis beat either of them. And the whole entire time you had much more deserving people to get that Money in the Bank. Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, Aleister Black. Hello? Like, you had much more deserving people if you were going to do that. If you're going to put it on somebody unique. But y'all gave it to Otis. Not only that, there's this angle with him, The Miz, and Morrison. They end up having a match The Money in the Bank briefcase on the line. Tucker turns on Otis. Miz wins that Money in the Bank briefcase in that match. And we see Tucker again maybe like twice after that. And we haven't seen him since. Not to mention the fact they were on 2 different shows anyway, due to the draft. And then you have the Miz cash in. Well, technically, John Morrison did on his behalf, which ended up being a triple threat match between Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, and The Miz. Even though the ref did the cash in, accepted it, rung the bell, the match officially became a triple threat match. Miz didn't get the job done. But yet, on a technicality, he gets the briefcase back because he didn't cash in. Morrison did on his behalf. And then you turn around an Elimination Chamber. He cashes in after Drew successfully wins, defends his title, cashes in on Drew with the help of Bobby Lashley, wins, and then you have him lose in his first defense to pretty much transfer the belt to Bobby Lashley. If this is not enough evidence to prove that the Money in the Bank has too many dumb shenanigans and should die, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to say. Money in the Bank needs to die. For both sides, men and women. It needs to die. There's too many shenanigans behind it. And all anybody is gonna do is just cash in after somebody finishes a match or is vulnerable. The only other times that didn't happen were when John Cena did the cash in, and I believe when RVD did a cash in. Every single other time has been after a match or when somebody is vulnerable. Cheesiest way to put a title on somebody. It's ridiculous. Money in the Bank needs to die. I'm going to leave it at that. But just that whole sequence leading up to this Monday Night Raw and crowning Bobby Lashley the champ. While I'm happy for Lashley, everything that's happened with the Money in the Bank up to that point has just been rubbish. And it's why the Money in the Bank needs to die. Moving on. NXT. So, of course, the big thing happened was confrontation between Finn Balor and Roderick Strong led to a match, which was a really good match. Really, really good match. We had the therapy with The Way, which was, honestly, was kind of boring. It was kind of boring. Wasn't really that entertaining, to be honest with you. But we had the women's tag team title match where Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax defended against the Dusty Cup, the female Dusty Cup winners, Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. And of course, a lot of folks are calling this the CWC screw job. As Shayna and Nia retain, but Shayna hit the Kirifuda clutch on Dakota Kai when Dakota Kai was technically not the legal woman. for that team. It was Raquel Gonzalez, and she had dispatched of Nia Jax over to the announce table, but the ref was down. The original ref, Aja Pereira, was down, so Adam Pearce brought in a different ref, but of course, that ref didn't take into account that Dakota Kai was not the legal woman, but yet called the match anyway and awarded Shayna and Nia with the victory. So, I mean, I hope this is something that they will address, which I believe William Regal said that would happen. But what I'm hearing rumors that NXT will be getting its own set of women's tag team titles, which honestly I think is a really, really dumb idea. Honestly, I think it's a dumb idea. I mean, all they need to do is just be consistent with the title defenses, and why not give an NXT tag team an opportunity to win the tag titles, showcase them on NXT, and get a chance to get a moment to shine on the main roster in a good way. Why is that so hard for them to do? This would have been a great opportunity to do that for Dakota Kai and for Raquel Gonzalez, especially for Dakota Kai, who still has yet to even taste a championship since being on NXT. And I think she's been well overdue. So, I mean, I hope it's just rumors, but apparently I'm hearing that NXT is going to get another set of tag titles. And, for the women. I don't know what WWE be doing. I really don't. I don't know what WWE be doing. Of course, the major big announcement was next week we would get Adam Cole versus Finn Balor for the NXT title. So that should be big. Of course, we've seen these two face each other before, so this is nothing new, but, it's a great matchup. We know they're going to bring it. It's going to be cool. But, and then, of course, also next week, we got Toni Storm versus Io Shirai for the Women's Championship. So, two big main event matches, two big title matches, I meant to say, for next week's NXT. So that should be good. That should be really good. Looking forward to that. But yeah, just that controversial ending in NXT was just bad, and then the rumor behind new NXT tag titles just yeah, such a disappointment if that is the case. Okay, let's talk some NXT UK. Now, it's safe to say that it looks like Ilya Dragunov is slowly ascending to be a heel, with the post-match attacks, the over-aggression, stuff like that. So, I'm pretty sure it's going to eventually set up an angle where he'll feud with a big face, and he'll cement his heel turn. But we'll see what happens. He pretty much beat the mess out of Sam Gradwell, to the point where they had to do the referee stoppage. So, yeah. Okay. And actually, the tag team match versus with Kenny Williams and Amir Jordan versus Ashton Smith and Oliver Carter was actually a pretty dang on good tag team match. That was a good tag team match. Y'all haven't checked that out, y'all should definitely check that out. It was a good tag team match. Okay. Of course, the main event was the NXT UK Women's Championship match. Kaylee Ray versus Meiko Satomura. Excellent match. These two ladies really, really stole the show. And when it was all said and done, Kaylee Ray pulled off the successful defense and defeated Meiko Satomura. And it was great. It was back and forth. They both kicked out of each other's finishers, and yeah, it was great. And a number of the UK talent was watching. You had Piper Niven and Jenny on the virtual boards. You had Aoife Valkyrie in the corner watching. So thought that was pretty neat. Had a lot of eyes on this match. Okay, let me address something. There was so much hate towards Kaylee Ray for her winning this match. And it's ridiculous. So the folks that have like a lot of hate towards her, y'all are crazy. Kaylee Ray is a great wrestler. I mean, she's the real deal. She's been around and has done well. I was sold on her ever since British Boot Camp back in Impact Wrestling with her match against Gail Kim. Like, Kaylee Ray is legit. And folks want to throw in the fact that, you know, she's the longest reigning NXT UK Women's Champion, all, you know, with the help of the, you know, Exo Crisis, the pandemic. I'm like, y'all act like she had control over that. Like, really? Y'all act like she did that. Like, come on now. WWE made that announcement. WWE's the one they're, you know, shining a light on that. Y'all act like she had something to do with that. Okay, the pandemic happened. Not her fault. Like, seriously, y'all. Meiko Satomura was brought in to wrestle and to also be a trainer at NXT UK. This one loss is not going to hurt. It's not. Not only that, if anything, the only problem that I personally had was I felt like Aoife Valkyrie should have had the title shot before Meiko Satomura. Aoife Valkyrie's undefeated. Why hasn't she gotten a title shot? She's undefeated. And she's wrestled at least a good, 5, 6, 7 matches? She's undefeated. When's she going to get her title shot? So if anything, this helped add some prestige to this title with Kaylee Ray defeating such a final boss, a big name worldwide talent like Meiko Satomura. Not to mention, I ain't seen anybody say jack when she lost to Toni Storm in the Mae Young Classic. I didn't hear anybody complain and mope and groan. And then she turned around and beat Io Shirai. I mean, she beat a bunch of Joshi stars. She beat Hiroyo Matsumoto. She beat Meiko Satomura. She beat Io Shirai. Big whoop. Io Shirai is NXT Women's Champion and has a good chance of making it all the way to May to become champion for at least a year. Hiroyo Matsumoto's not even in this promotion. And Meiko Satomura, that was just her second match. And she's also a trainer. And folks act like Meiko Satomura got buried by this loss in this really excellent title match. That was an excellent match between both these ladies. But y'all want to act like Kaylee Ray sucks. Y'all are smoking something. Like, really? Meiko Satomura ain't untouchable. Neither is Asuka. Like, come on now. I understand. I was surprised at the outcome. I thought Meiko was going to win. But you know, the fact that Kaylee Ray won, I thought was cool. It's like, wow, she beat her. Legit. She beat her legit. And it was a great wrestling match. And Kaylee Ray is a great champion. And speaking of which, even if Meiko Satomura did win this title match, all folks are then going to say now, well, her second match on NXT UK and already she's the champion. What? Folks are going to complain anyway. Like, come on. Like, come on. Come on. It's not even that serious. It was a phenomenal match. The better woman won that evening. It's cool. We'll get to see more of Meiko Satomura. And she's also a trainer. Simmer down on the Kaylee Ray hate. Seriously. It's ridiculous. All over Twitter and her Instagram. Chill. Smackdown. I mean, Smackdown wasn't anything too interesting, to be honest with you. I mean, got to see more of Shayna Baszler in action. Went up against Bianca Belair. Apollo Crews came out with some, I guess, Nigerian soldiers. Wants a Intercontinental title rematch, calling out Big E, which not sure when he'll be back. And why the heck are we seeing any more interaction between Buddy Murphy and Seth Rollins? Why are they reunite? Why are they reigniting that fire? I have no idea. And it was also mentioned about the potential of reuniting Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy now that, because, you know, they had that short stint with King Corbin. I think it was Knights of the Round Table. Steve Cutler, Wesley Blake, which, of course, they used to be the Forgotten Sons with Jackson Riker, who's now partnered up with Elias. So Steve Cutler got released. Now you have Wesley Blake, and it's looking like they may reunite Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake. I have mixed feelings about that. I really think Buddy Murphy should be kept a single star. The dude is great. I think they need to keep him as a single star, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it because Buddy Murphy, Wesley Blake was a good tag team. But Dominic Mysterio got a big victory tonight as they Mysterios continue the feud with Chad Gable and Otis, which, like I said, this Otis heel turn is just weird. It's just weird. It's really, really weird. And then you got Daniel Bryan defeating Jey Uso in a steel cage match to earn himself a title shot against Roman Reigns at Fastlane. Why am I not surprised? It's just really... I'm still waiting on when is Jimmy Uso gonna be ready. I would have thought he'd be cleared by now, so I'm still waiting on that. Still waiting on that. Don't know what the deal is. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah. Like I said, not really a whole lot that really intrigued me on SmackDown. But they still got a lot to build up to for Fastlane and WrestleMania, which Fastlane is two weeks from this Sunday. Of course, WrestleMania is in April, and and also it was said a match was made where it sounds like Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are going to once again defend the tag titles against Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks at Fastlane. Why are we having that again? They need to keep focus on building up Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. Quit putting them in a tag team. Focus on building up that match. So I don't know why they're getting a rematch. I don't agree with it. So we at least know 2 matches made for Fastlane. So yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much all that I have for this week's pro wrestling talk. Like I said, main spotlight this weekend will be on AEW Revolution, so I'll definitely do a video after I watch that. Should be fun. Should be really fun. Good card. It should be fun. But anyway, let me know what y'all think. Your comments on everything talked about. Are you excited for the New Japan Cup? Let's see. How do y'all feel about the AEW Revolution card? What matches are you excited for? The Kaylee Ray hate needs to stop. And I guess the road to Fastlane and WrestleMania continues. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Thank you for watching. This is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram signing off. I'll see y'all soon. Have a blessed weekend. Peace.